Hello, hello, hello. My name is Cortez Jenkins. Thank you for coming to the channel on the Jenkins Network. Today I do want to have it's a good topic. It's a good topic, and I think today is a Saturday. It's July 13th. I think it's a good day to really talk about this. I think it's a good day. So the main thing that I want to talk to you guys today about is living a double life. And the thing about it with what we do on a day-to-day basis, to be honest, let's just run it back. What we do on a day-to-day basis is, whether it be a job that we're going to, or whether it be friends that we're meeting, or whatever your lifestyle is on a day-to-day basis, a lot of you guys are living a double life. And the thing about it, for the double life, you know it's crazy because you're trying to stay true to yourself, but at the same time, you're lying to yourself because you're not really aiming towards what you're telling or projecting to the world. So you're going through a spiral. If you ask everybody on a date, like just the random person on the street, asking them what do they want to be, it's successful. They'll tell you they want to be successful, and most people, they do. They generally want to be successful. The problem is they're going through a perpetual cycle, which allows them not to be successful. And that's the problem. The reason why they're not successful is because, you know, they're not working towards a goal. The goal is fake. Everything's fake. It's a facade. Even the goal itself is a facade. It's not even like they have a real goal and they're lying to get there. The whole goal is a facade. Because if you don't know yourself, which was in the earlier videos that I had made, so if you haven't checked those out, I would recommend. If you haven't found yourself, you don't have a goal. And whatever goals you have now and you haven't found yourself aren't realistically your goals, which is why you can't actually get through to them to make it work, because you don't actually care about the goal. The goal wasn't a real goal. You made a fake goal for yourself, which means you don't have real feelings or attachments to these goals. So you don't actually get fulfilled whether they get filled or not. You don't get fulfillment from it. So the reason why living a double life is so important is because if you're not true to yourself, you're going your whole life doing things that you have no business really doing, to maybe either please people or to satisfy a foundation that was built off a false premise. To build a foundation built off a false premise. To build a foundation off a false premise. Let it stick in your head, because it's going to resonate to a lot of people. Some people have kids at an early age and say it's my purpose now for my children. How are your children gonna grow up looking up to a person who doesn't even have purpose? You can't make your purpose your children, because your children are now gonna now think, I don't have a real purpose. I need to have kids that have a purpose. I need to spew onto my children. You're supposed to have a vision, actively seek that vision, and have children to see that vision so that they are inspired to have a vision. Otherwise, there's no growth. You're not laying anything down to earth but horrible teaching lessons. So living a double life hurts because you're not really being true to yourself. you know to actually make an impact in the world, you have to involve yourself into things that are bigger than yourself. That's what the purpose is. End of the day, purpose for just yourself isn't going to satisfy. You're not going to go through the end of times and work towards this goal, this forever goal, if it's just about yourself. And why it's important is because individualism is what we're going to live and die through. How we made our choices on a day-to-day basis It's all gonna compound until the days that we do die, and it's gonna reflect. We're gonna think of all the stuff we've done, and it's gonna really dawn on you when you realize most of the time that you put into this earth on a day-to-day basis amounted to nothing. Which means when you go, there's no imprint. There's no imprint of you. There's nothing that's gonna stick. You're not gonna ever be fulfilled with life. You're gonna constantly be upset. You're gonna constantly be in this confusion of why am I here feeling weird? You don't feel this type of way when you have purpose. When I wake up every day, I know that I have people who depend on me. I have people who want to see me succeed. I have people that want me to help them succeed. My life is more purposeful than just waking up and doing some regimen like a gym rat and going to sleep. I can put in the hours because the hours are meaningful hours. They're passionate. In my book of life, I got passionate hours. I didn't just clock in, clock out. Whether I'm on the job, whether I'm not on the job, whether I'm talking to family, whether I'm hanging with friends, everything I'm doing is impactful. I'm an impactful person. And so I put passion behind my life on a day to day. You're just going through it like a number. I don't care if you have the schedule planned out. You wake up at 5 a.m. You go to the gym for an hour and a half. You go home. You eat a breakfast. You go and do. I don't care if you had the most maxed out production day. You know, when months and years go by, you're gonna feel like complete, utterly nothing, because what was it really for? You don't have a goal. You're just doing this stuff to just blend in. You don't have a plan. You don't have a vision. You don't have a what is my life going to be like in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. You're just doing life. There's no impact. You don't ever look to say, do I want to be married? Do I not want to be married? What life am I trying to live? And am I moving in that direction? And that's the problem. So when you live in a double life and you're living a life that you may be seen on Instagram, or you've seen from your friends, or you've seen from family members, you know, that's when you're pleasing other people's agenda, and you're building the foundation off a false premise. That's why it needs to stick. It needs to stick because it's real. And how can it affect you is because on your day to day, you're going to constantly dwell in what am I doing? This is where depression sinks in for a lot of people. For real. This is something that has to be studied. On a day to day, you're waking up, you're always thinking, your mind is always racing. There's never an empty space in your mind. So if it's constantly spinning, how are you supposed to go day to day having no type of purpose and expect to just be happy with life and not abusing drugs or abusing whatever? How are you just going every single day, just waking up every day and doing absolutely nothing to a goal, or not even having a goal to yourself? This is, of course, is going to lead to depression. It's simple. It's easy. It's simple. So the reason why you need to actually find yourself and then find a goal and then work towards that goal is because every day is adding to the picture of your life and your book and your story. If you don't have a book or story and you're just out here just splatting paint, you're not building anything. There's nothing to be built. Every single decade, every single 2 years, every single 1 year, every single 6 months, you're just gonna be the same thing, and nothing's gonna change. If anything, it's gonna get worse. And why do you think you get depressed then? This is not something just a flip of a switch. This is every single day compounding. So rather you being the person to go through the hardships of compounding to be better, you're going through the hardships of compounding to be worse, because you're not developing yourself. You're not becoming a person that you want to be, because you don't know who you are to actually try to achieve that goalpost. So you don't know. You're just stuck. You're confused. So, I mean, the reason why it's important is because you need to understand and be fully aware and self conscious and perspicacious of your day to day actions, so that way you can make better choices to then be a better citizen in society, be a better individual, be a better parent, be a better friend, be a better work person, be a better business person, be a better learner, be a better human. And it doesn't happen if you do not put in the work. You have to put in the work. You can't just skip these steps and become the person. Everything's hard. It's hard to be a bad person. It's hard to be a good person. Everything is hard. But what are you actually in tune and staying aware of on a day-to-day basis? And how to be more self-aware of that is being tapped into yourself. If you're tapped into yourself, then you'll know how to be a better person. You'll be more self-aware of the decisions you make. And you can't just do that off of the whim. You have to constantly be thinking about this. Your attitude, how you think when you get mad, how you get when you're upset. You have to constantly be doing this. So if you're not doing this, then of course you're gonna be stuck in that perpetual cycle. And why individuals it works. Like individualism, it works because we need individual thought to prosper in society. Like family. Family is a big thing. And if you're not individualizing yourself into your family, into your work life, into your relationships, then you're in a nonchalant, pretty much do whatever type of situation. You don't have like a real thought. You're not spreading yourself to find people who are truly like you, or etc. You're kind of just fitting in the box. And when you just fit in the box, that's when people get confused and they get led down the wrong path. And this goes into the video I had earlier, which goes into people's unintentional goals and how you get stirred up in intentional goals. Because if you're not aware, other people doesn't mean other people are not aware. If you're aware of your goals or unaware of your goals, just know that some people are aware of their goals and some people are very in tune and know to put you in it, knowing that you're moving unintentionally. And that's why it's important. It's important and adds to individualism because you need the thought to be like, is this something for me? This is how people get caught in the peer pressure. This is how you beat peer pressure. I'm going to have a video on peer pressure in a few days. I'm going to upload it because that's very big, and especially through teens and young adolescents. But what we're trying to depict down is that individualism spreads to multiple different factors. Multiple different factors, and living a double life is that. Because as an individual, if you're fully who you are, there is no off switch. There's no switch. You are personally developing yourself to be this person. That's all the time. You're not an actor. So the importance of living a double life is that you shouldn't and can't, because that's multi-personality disorder. You can't be two, three different people. You shouldn't be two to three different people. You should just try to be the best version of yourself. And the only way to be the best version of yourself is to channel individualism and be self-aware enough to chase your goals, to find out who you are, and to make a commitment to yourself of where you're trying to go, understanding realistically where you are and where you are today, and making the goalposts to achieve to be better than you are for the next day and the next day until it compounds. So that's going to be the video. I'm going to make some more videos. I appreciate you guys for watching me, supporting the journey. It's going to be awesome. But this is important, and I need people to really take serious note of individualism, because the world will get better with individualism. And I'm going to make it a promise to push this as far as possible to get the world to understand and be able to relay the same message. But I'm out. Peace.